Mr. Márkram, you are directing two very important projects in the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne in Switzerland. The Blue Brain project, where very simplistically you are trying to create a synthetic brain, and the Human Brain project, where also very simplistically you are trying to simulate human brain on supercomputers. In these projects, sharing and combining scientific infrastructure and databases is important. How important?
Well, first of all, the Blue Brain project is one part of the Human Brain project, and it's the part that is developing the technology to reconstruct and simulate the human brain. When you do this, you need the data. You need as much data as possible. We have a lot of other initiatives to get data from around the world, to work with scientists, to bring their data to the table, and to help other scientists to help build models. So the Human Brain project is much broader, much wider than the Blue Brain project, which is just the simulation part. But we also have working with clinicians to get data from patients so that we can understand where the brain breaks down in diseases. And we can use that as well in reconstructing brain models that would reflect more a particular brain disease than another brain disease.
Well, this looks very exciting, but even to us. But in this combination of neuroinformatics, mostly it's neurology that takes the benefit, or computer science?
No, I think that this is all the sciences benefit. The neurologist benefits because they can see one piece of data in the context of many. They can compare their data against a very large data set. A patient can be compared against the data from many other patients, so it helps the patient because now there's a much cleaner and clearer diagnosis of the patient. The neurologist's job is made a lot easier because it helps them understand how to work with all the levels of information that you have on the brain, from genes all the way to the brain structure and the function, which is becoming more and more difficult to interpret what they all mean for a disease. So in some sense it would help the neurologist. The computer scientist benefits because this is a fantastic challenge. How do you analyze data from millions of patients? It's a computer science challenge, it's a software challenge, it's an engineering challenge. So basically this is a project where everybody has their particular benefit, and what you bring to the table helps everybody else.
The financing of your research is coming from states, from private sector, from
No,
Europe,
this is so it's fundamentally the Human Brain project is funded by a €1 billion grant from the European Commission. Half of this comes from matching funds from the partners. Some partners contribute a lot more. In Germany, in Spain, Italy, in Switzerland. In Switzerland, we have a very large contribution from the Swiss government towards this project. So there's a significant amount of national commitment, and there's a significant amount of support from the European Commission.
And what you are doing is important, not only for science, but for ordinary life.
Well, in general, we are facing a huge crisis for brain diseases. This is one aspect which is very serious. There's about 127 million Europeans affected with brain diseases in a year. It's costing Europe wide about 800 billion. We need solutions. Now, there's a lot of money that goes into research to produce new knowledge and get more data. And it is an enormous amount. Billions are being spent to understand the brain and its diseases. But there's no initiative to help organize the data and do something with it so that we can benefit from the data. So the Human Brain Project is a way that will give benefit to all the research that's going on, as well as improve our chances of being able to diagnose diseases much more precisely. Drug companies will be able to come in and say, well, now I have a target and now I can develop a drug. So hopefully there will be more engagement of industry so that they will develop better treatments. So ultimately this will have an enormous benefit to society.